Got a little something, something. Welcome back to another tutorial. Here I'm going to be showing how I do this burst taper step by step. Let's jump straight into it. I always start off by putting in my initial bald line. When it comes to the neck taper, I put in the bald line right where the ears end. And for this specific client, I'm not going to use the foil shaver just because he has a sensitive neck. The first guard we're going to be using is the 1.5 guard. I'm going in with the lever all the way close, and I'm going up about 2 fingers high. Once I establish that initial line, I'm going to open the lever halfway and go up about 1/4 inch right above that line. And finally, as soon as we're done with that, I go ahead and open the lever all the way and flick out the rest of that. What we're doing here is establishing the highest point of our blend. When you get to the lever all the way open, make sure to flick out. You don't want to create any other harsh lines. Using that same clipper, I'm taking the guard off and I'm going up about a finger's width and with the guard all the way open. Literally half of that initial line we created. I go over it about 2 or 3 times just to make sure it's all even. Now the last guard we're going to be using is a 0.5 guard, and I'm going to do the same steps we did with the first line at the beginning, going in with the lever all the way closed, opening it halfway, and finally flicking out with the lever open. In your head, try to visualize where it is that you put the 1.5 guard. You don't want to go above that, or else this is going to mess up the whole fade. Once I complete all the steps with the lever, I usually go back and just double check my work. Before blending out that bottom bald line is when I take the time to detail. The blue clippers that I'm using right here are the StyleCraft Instincts. These are a powerful, dope clipper. Now for my favorite part, to blend out that bottom bald line, going in with the lever all the way closed, just going up about 1/4 inch. And then I open the lever halfway, go up another 1/4 inch, and finally flick out with the lever all the way open. The higher I'm going, the less pressure I'm applying and the more I'm flicking out. And I find it best by doing this last step just by using the corners. It allows me to be more accurate with the areas I'm targeting. Okay, I hope you guys memorize those steps because we're going to use the same exact method for the side taper. And I'm going in with the bald line. I usually go in with a little curve. This adds that burst effect. You'll see what I'm talking about here at the end of the cut. And usually I always put in the bald line right where the ear disconnects from the head. It's just a good way for me to memorize where I should set in the bald line, given the space. Usually the neck is more sensitive, so here I am using the foil shaver. This is the Gamma Uno shaver. We're going back to the 1.5 guard with the lever all the way closed, and I'm going up about 2 fingers high, following the same shape of that bald line. Then I'm going to open the lever halfway, go up about 1/4 inch, and finally open the lever all the way and flick out. Remember to not be so heavy-handed when you have the lever all the way open. You don't want to create dents. You're just going with the flow of the current hair growth and the shape of his head. Also, I try to avoid getting the C-cup area because we want to keep that dark. Later on, I'll detail that area as needed. Usually, since I already have the 1.5 guard, I go in with an angle around the ear just to trim these hairs down so when we line it up, it gives us a sharper finish. With no guard and the lever all the way open, going up about 1 finger's width, half of the line that we just created. In this step, I'm not blending, I'm just creating my guideline. Next, I'll put on my 0.5 guard, and in this step, I am blending with the lever all the way closed, going up about 1/4 inch. And given the space, I am holding the clipper at an angle just so I won't accidentally cut any of the dark areas that are needed. And following the same pattern, lever all the way closed, halfway, and finally open. And finally, the last step to blend out that bald line. Unfortunately, my camera got out of focus here. I wish you guys were able to see this. But as soon as you start cutting in with the lever closed on this area, you'll see that blend really coming together. And here I'm just detailing a little bit trying to do some corner work and take out those dark spots that I can notice. Now that both tapers are completed, I start by lining up the arch around the ear. I usually start by curving behind the ear first. This allows me to get just a more smooth and even curve rather than starting by the neck. It's just something that I'm more comfortable with. You don't have to do it that way. Same thing with the C-cup. I usually start at the top and then work my way down. This will prevent me from bringing that C-cup any higher. I already create the line that it should end at, and I follow my way through with the sideburn. If you are in need of any of the tools, I will leave them in the description below, and be sure to use my discount Chooch off of Gamma and StyleCraft tools. You'll get a nice little discount. My client likes to get the overhang baby hairs to get lined up, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to keep everything as natural as possible. I don't want to push nothing back too high or too far in. Clients will really appreciate if you keep the hairlines as natural as possible. And lastly, just finishing up with some razor work. We are getting to the end of this video, guys. I really hope you learned something, and if you did, please leave this video a like and a comment. It's going to give me the motivation I need to continue making these videos for you guys, and I appreciate you big time if you even got to the end of this video. You can see that burst effect on the taper. It just makes it look different and pop out more. Be sure to check me out on all other social media and my website. Appreciate you guys, and peace out.